a Pittodrie on a relatively calm evening. And after the storms we've had recently, it's almost idyllic by comparison. But there's no guarantee over the next 90 minutes that Aberdeen will get out of their own special turbulence, which I think has been well enough documented by everybody since the start of the season. Now, the few Aberdeen supporters I've talked to today are hardly brimming over with confidence, but on the other hand, they also give the impression behind it all that they're sure the day will dawn when the tide will turn. And that might have occurred to them tonight, because they're certainly faced with not only an injury-stricken Rangers, but also some Ibrox players, and I agree with Trevor, there are some playing tonight to prove a point, but also some who were showing distinct signs on Sunday of wear and tear. But here's the Aberdeen team, and a man sitting beside me, Alan McInally, can cast his eye over that one.
Well, this is now his team. He's signed 9 players, Ed Scovdal, Archie, and he'll be looking for a major response now. I think this is going into a big time for Aberdeen. You see a kind of 4-3-2-1 formation. You just see a lot of players in midfield. They're trying manage to keep possession if he can against Rangers. They'll play their 4-4-2, and a lot on Stavro on his shoulders.
Well, there's a Rangers side. That is very, very much changed. As we mentioned, you know, the players who aren't there are more significant, perhaps.
Yeah, well, with Albertson Rayner being out, it's a bit of a makeshift. Good chance for Barry Nicholson to prove a little bit. Also to Scott Wilson to show that, you know, he's worth a place in the team now and again. We do have Jonathan Johansson, and good to see Gordon Jury back. Good pal of mine. He's played 5 or 6 games.
Well, we're ready to start this game, and you know, there's the referee for tonight, Stuart Dougal. And of course, these teams actually built much of the character and flavour of the old League Cup competition, in the sense that they played each other 6 times in cup finals. I saw every one of them, and they were marvellous finals. Hardly a disappointment in any of them at all. Change days, of course, is Aberdeen. Start an evening that could be the turning point of the season for them. That's what they're going to try to prove against this much changed Rangers side. And there the Rangers goalkeeper, of course, who's not going to have his month's contract loan changed by Rangers, but he'll certainly be in Dortmund on Tuesday night. Rushing back for that. Put inside. Not a huge crowd tonight, and as we've known, I think the form of Aberdeen has had a marked effect on the support. Here's Barry Ferguson, who did admit he didn't have as good a game as he really ought to have had on Sunday. Now Newman getting a little bit of space, too much space in fact, and not a Rangers player coming into that. Up comes the man he missed badly, Van Bronckhorst, and there's a free kick. Yes, I do believe Van Bronckhorst was missed very badly on Sunday by Rangers, suspended, of course, as he was.
Most definitely, because he's a major part of the team now, and you can even see here that Gordon Jury had left him quite happily to take the ball there. Gordon would normally have liked to get on the ball, but he knows what an important man he is, and he's got him a free kick in a position you've probably seen. Amoruso, he'll love to strike from this distance.
No George Albert, so Amoruso takes over. I'm sure Amoruso's glad George is not here tonight. He was a little niggle about it, but here he is. Lashing into that, wanted to go for it again. Solid wall there, Barry Nicholson chasing that back. Gets his set to it. I think that's one of the players that Trevor Stephen was referring to earlier on. He'll want to prove his point tonight. Disappointed he didn't get a run on Sunday. Van Bronckhorst. That's a beautiful pass. Kanchelskis gets to the line very well. He tried to go on it himself. I think he was saying before kickoff, Alan, you just get the feeling that this man wanted to prove something tonight.
Yeah, I was watching him when he was warming up, and he looked very, very sharp indeed. I mean, that is awfully acute. If that goes in, it could be a major inquiry with the goalkeeper, but what a beautiful ball from Van Bronckhorst, switching the play, turning Aberdeen round the wrong way, but I just thought he looked a little sharp. He looked as if he was keen tonight, and it's again a lot of onus on him tonight, Archie. He needs to really show that he's worth the kind of money he's earning at Rangers. Well,
they've been waiting a long time to see something spectacular for him. He's also very good when he cuts inside with his left foot. However, Aberdeen have already had some early warning signs. Wilson can't get to that. He does there, as Winters came up very quickly at him. McCann. Lots of space for Newman. Looking forward to Johansson. There's the pace of Johansson. Just touched away there neatly. Russell Anderson played under 17, under 19, under 21 for Scotland. Surely one of the best prospect Aberdeen have. Johansson right beyond Gordon Jury. Might have been a slight hesitation there. Rangers dominating. No real sense of camaraderie, as you can hear, between the supporters. Never has been all that much. Here they go. Aberdeen not stringing their passes together as well as they would like. That was a good move by Kanchelskis. He's got space there. He really is tramping, and that's a very good tackle indeed. Do you believe Robbie went to...
He's done very, very well there, Archie, because he's obviously would be preferred maybe to play further up forwards, but he's had to check Kanchelskis there a good 60 yards. That was a real lung buster for him as early on in the game. But again, maybe we are right. Maybe he does fancy it tonight, Kanchelskis. Good positive run by him.
Very crowded box there again. What a swing and another Russo. Well, you know, Alan, you've gone in many a cross like that. You get the impression even I could have scored that.
Well, the first impression I was going to say, he's just missed a sitter. And he really has got underneath it because... Okay, who's that? I think it's Derek White that goes with him, gets in front of him, and if he headers that down at all, with the pace that's already on the ball, there's no chance Leighton saves that. And you've got to say for big Lorenzo, that really is a glorious opportunity.
Yeah, it looked difficult as Kanchelskis picking it up again. Free kick. That was very, very tight in the touchline there. All Johansson could do was touch it first time inside. There's nobody there for him. Free kick. Barry Ferguson across that far side. Played a lot of football, Barry Ferguson, but necessarily having to be played. There's Newman, took it down beautifully. Might just have gone over. Yes, I think they do get the corner kick out of that. Jim Leighton, 41 years of age, had a couple of remarkable saves on Saturday against his former club at Easter Road. No, it's a throw, central throw in. There's Ben Brockhurst. Cross went Jury. Was a rather weak touch there by Ian Jess. No pressure on Scott Wilson. Six minutes gone, and I would have thought a team playing at home in a cup should have already exerted some pressure on the visitors, Alan.
Well, a little bit, but you can see there that when the ball's played up with one up front, I did say they would try and pack midfield. I'd just like to take over here, Arch.
Way over to the left there. Look at the crowded penalty area. That's a decent ball there, just beyond Ariel Stavrom. Picked up there away cross by Gunfight. And very cool play by Ferguson. Good sweeping movement. And that's the first touch of pressure.
Just on cue for you there, yeah. You would have thought they would have had one of them at least in the game, but really Rangers dominating the open part of it. But as I was going to say, they're trying to pack midfield a little, maybe thwart Rangers, possession that you would expect them to have. And you've got to get, if you're going to play like that and the ball goes forward, one, you've got to get it held up. Two, you've got to get midfield players forward to support, otherwise you can forget about it.
Gordon Jury, I think, yes. Tackle there once again by Keto Gunfight. Right across very quickly. Joined the Dons this month, or last month in November, from Brandbergen in Norway. He knows the Rangers goalkeeper very well. Free kick to Rangers. Slight indecision in midfield by the Rangers captain and Ferguson. McCann was coming for that, decides to put it back. To a pass there by Amaruso again. Van Bronckhorst held it well. McCann with support. Either he's there or Newman's there. Just a little bit too neat there by Johansson. Now, here's a counter-attack. Placed neatly inside there as Anderson came up for it again. Stavrum, a little bit obvious. Won't be talking too much after that. They're swinging it and it suddenly bent. Well, when he hit that the first time, I thought it was going very wide indeed, and then suddenly it bent.
Really, I mean, I'd like to think they worked that one in free kick where he whacks Ian in the head with it, gets it back, and it starts out, but that is really bending in. You don't maybe see it just so bad from that one. Maybe there you can just see it starting to come back in. Tell you what, that would have been a spectacular goal. You'll see it great from here. Look at, oh, gee whiz, that has bent quite a lot. That's a good foot and a half that's bent. And that's the first real sign we've seen from Stavrum. Aberdeen fans will naturally be delighted with that.
Free kick. Gunveit again, Stavrum. It's a very useful Brazilian, almost Brazilian-like shot there by Stavrum. We'll certainly give him the benefit of the doubt that he meant it.
It's a cold air up here.
Well, he's used to it coming from where he did, Bergen. McCann. Ready time for Amoruso. He'll try the longish one again. It almost paid off. Anderson good, getting right in behind it. Good anticipation by the young defender. Good fight. Bernard, a little bit obvious, and indeed there was no support for Robbie Winter, even had he got a touch to that ball.
You don't want him to get a touch, Archie. You want him to get his chest in that and hold the ball up. When you're last man up there, you can't be flicking it on to nobody. You've got to hold the ball up and wait for support.
Well, Rangers looking just a little bit flat there, but Wilson got back all right. Certainly outnumbering Aberdeen as they went forward. Now Arthur Newman. McCann hesitating. There's a lovely little ball inside to McCann. Can he square that over? And too near the goalkeeper. Delightful pass there by Newman, and good anticipation by McCann, but I think rather feckless finish by him all the same. Aberdeen on a counter-attack. Jess pushing it out wide and then going forward. He might get it himself. He does. That's a good tackle by Barry Nicholson, and I think the youngster will be delighted with that. He needed that in the game. Free kick. Yes, well, Nicholson had to get in. There's the ball played forward there, and Ian Jess making the break through the middle, Alan, but
yeah, he's just done enough to put him off, hasn't he? And Ian's had to come across, just put too much on the ball, but good defending by him, because it's easy for the defender just to watch what's happening there. If he comes in the middle as an extra defender, he's doing his job.
Bad pass out of defence again, and Newman giving it away. I think Van Bronckhorst just a little bit too close though. That's a better ball. Stavrum might go for it himself, just tackled there. There's an excellent chance and swept past. Well, now Kato Gunveit did get the opening, and this man coming in there, lovely little touch out to Gunveit, just putting it slightly wide. Aberdeen's best chance of the game so far.
Yeah, most definitely. You see the defenders there running back towards the goal, not going to really putting Stavrum under pressure. Eventually falls to Gunveit. It's a good ball there. Snatches a little. Got to hit the target.
Heartening signs for Aberdeen now. Took them just a little bit longer than it should have been to get into the stride. Our Rangers knocking about, nobody covering McCann there. He's looking towards Johansson, still going himself. Just goes to the outside, and the referee wastes play on. Rangers supporters below me don't like that one, but I think he might just have got himself in a little bit of a tangle.
Yeah, he's done well. It's good play actually as he's driving towards the defender, and I think he may have really been contacted. And I think, to be fair to Neil, he's tried to stay on his feet, but his momentum's taken him over. But
here's Newman. No cover for McCann again. Takes his time and swept away. I just think they're far too open down this right-hand side of their defence. There's a little touch there.
Yeah,
well, there was a touch.
Yeah, definitely. I thought there was a touch, but I think momentum, it's been a little bit 6 1/2 a dozen. Good play by him, wrong-footing the defender, but nothing really in it too much.
Newman. Van Bronckhorst. Ooh, that was almost getting through to jury. Yes, handball, I think. Just a neatly judged little dunk with the arm. Back he goes.
Ebb.
Puts it way forward. Good turn by Winters again, and there, once again established. Well, he's getting in amongst this Rangers defence there. That was another good sweeping move by Aberdeen. As I said, after their almost casual start to the game, penetrating this Rangers defence.
Well, if anyone's got pace in that Aberdeen team, it's Winters, and it's down that left-hand side. It's a great ball in. You could just see out the picture from the last one that Stavrum trying to get and cross the defender. Just a little bit too much to do, but it's been a good spell for Aberdeen actually the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Jess. Amoruso took his eye off that. That's another very good tackle by Barry Nicholson. Now this could be danger. The Jonathan Johansson likes play like this, but he's well marked by Anderson, coming right across towards him. Anderson, by the way, as I said, played for the Scotland's under-21s and scored in his debut for them. So he is a defender. He's still to mature. Like many of these young Aberdeen players, people will simply have to have a great deal of patience to allow them to develop.
There's a couple on the bench as well. Belabed's very highly spoken of, and so is Rutkovic.
Touched away from Amoruso. I think it'll be picked up by Barry Ferguson, and is. Now Kanchelskis. Can Ferguson. Not quite sure what that was by Barry Ferguson. Looked to me like a shot again. As I've said about him, and that's an aspect of Barry Ferguson's game, intelligent and creative though he is, that certainly has to be brushed up, getting in and having a shot at goal.
Yeah, well, even the shot, if you're going to have a shot from that kind of distance, you maybe drive in a yard, with plenty of space, and really have a go at it rather than just swing your leg at it. But very difficult for me to criticise Barry too much, because I think he's a terrific player and will most definitely develop into one of our best Scotland players for a long, long time.
Just cut off. Well, I'm not sure if somebody's cracked a joke there. I don't think he appreciates humour that much. There's McCann going through, and he tries to chip the goalkeeper. Although, having said that, again, a rather insipid finish, but that's, at least 4 times that Aberdeen have been taken cleanly out of the game on that right-hand side of their defence. That's a better move forward as Jess comes up. He'll let fly goal, and I think Thomas Meyer will be delighted he got a clean touch to that, because he's seen a couple of near misses.
Well, this is what I was saying about midfield support, and Ian Jess does it really well, breaking into the space. Winters rolled it in for him. A good shot by Ian. Not good enough to beat Thomas Meyer. You're absolutely right. As Newman takes his eye off the ball there, Meyer will be delighted with a save like that. Very uncharacteristic from Arthur there.
Amoruso just quite content to put it out of play. Coming up to 17 minutes played, still no scoring. If you're just joining us. Nicely played to the outside. Kobian. Well, Nicholson came in from the back there. Somebody should have been in on top of that. Looked like a holding, and I think that will be taken by McCann. Another good move by Aberdeen. Away goes McCann. Amoruso with a longer one. I think he just wanted it out of his own area. Derek White. There's McAllister coming away. Jamie McAllister. However, Kanchelskis picks it up. Really going for it. One strike too many there, I think. Rather untidy play in midfield. McAllister again. I don't think these high balls like that will be very effective. Aberdeen have already shown they can move it on the deck, as it were, and do it effectively. White. More possession by Aberdeen. Andy Dow played solidly for Aberdeen since leaving Hibs for £80,000. Good fight. Might be to Rangers' advantage that they draw Aberdeen out a little bit. He's going to try and goal, and he has really touched on the spectacular for Aberdeen, Ariel Stavrom. Once again getting in behind the defence, and that's ominous for Rangers.
It was good patience Aberdeen showed there, waiting to get in. They had a chance. I think the reason he smashed that across the goal there is when it's bouncing there for him. You can see, it's, you know he's on the run there. It's a good ball in, beats the offside trap. I think it just bounces perfectly for him there to have a dig. A little acute. Maybe wondering where his partner was up front to try and get on the end at the back post.
Push on Gordon Jury. I don't think Barry Ferguson is sure what to do here. Plays a safe, square one. Almost got caught again. Wilson. Oh, if he can bring that down. Kanchelskis, he did brilliantly, but just a little too much pace in the ball. Great ball by Wilson. There's Wilson again. I think he just got a slightest touch. Amoroso guarding their rear. Ferguson. He's playing it simply. Van Bronckhorst in the left back position. We'll see a lot of interchanging between himself and Newman, who's in front of him at the moment. Well, White was lucky there. He certainly didn't mean that. Getting all the way through to Paul Bernard. McAllister. Well, I heard Stuart McKimmie saying that he wasn't too happy about Aberdeen's passing the ball recently. A little bit of passing there as Stavrom gets away again. Well, that's the very thing I'm sure Stuart McKimmie has been looking for, and that was a little bit better of a passing match.
Yeah, well, I think probably Stuart's right. Amoroso completely misses that one there. He's actually done quite well tonight, Stavron. He's got in a couple of times, to be fair to the big man. He gets back and gets a leg in. But certainly they've shown a lot. They don't look like the team that's sitting at the bottom of the league the way they're passing the ball at the moment.
Corner kick. That's to the near post and away by Wilson, though. That should be the goalkeeper's. Far too easy. Now, Nicholson, I think too much. Yes, the goalkeeper apologises to him for that. A little bit too much porridge this morning, I think. Once again, Winters coming in. That's a decent ball again. This time, Amoroso gets it. Puts it through. There's no offside. Well, they all looked across to this linesman, just to our right-hand side. And once again, they've been caught out by Stavrom coming in like that.
It's a great run right across the back. The defenders are looking, they think they're offside. You can see here, Scott Wilson as it plays it onside. It's a chance, it's a turn. Again, you've got to try and hit the target, but it's been a real good spell for Aberdeen the last 15 minutes.
And one of his outstanding games was playing for Helsingborg against Parma in the UEFA Cup. Big fellow, he's 6 feet, just over 6 feet, 13 stone. Good in the air now. Gordon Jury hardly been in the game so far.
His fitness shouldn't be too bad. He's played 5 or 6 under-21 games, so I spoke to him before the game. He's looking forward to this tonight. But you're right, Archie, he hasn't really been in the game yet.
Picked out by Paul Bernard. Well, it's too much this time. Well, we've been through the Champions League together, Alan, and we've seen Amoroso playing brilliantly, stupidly, erratically, eccentrically, you name it. And this is one of the nights where he's trying to make up his mind how to play.
Exactly. But to be fair, I mean, you can just see the changing in fortunes up here. I mean, I don't think I've ever been to a Rangers Aberdeen game that there hasn't been a full house. There are a lot of spaces, and I think that's obviously indicative of the way things are happening up here. And I don't think that's really helped into the atmosphere with the players, but you're right, I think Amoruso will decide once he gets on the ball what he's going to do, so hopefully there'll be a few fireworks and entertainment to go tonight from him.
Kanchelskis actually judged past their Newman. Got to get it to that left foot of his, Arthur Newman. Scott Wilson got to have the confidence to come forward if he gets possession. That was a decent ball. Barry Ferguson going in, trying his shot, and that's as near as he's been all season to opening his account. Ferguson built it up, turn run, and then let rip.
Yeah, it was a good play by Scott Wilson, who held the ball up. A lovely little ball into the space that he'd gone into. Movement across him, got the shot on, got to hit the target. Maybe if there was any criticism really of Barry, it was that maybe sometimes his shooting is not the best, but time on his side.
It'll come.
Yes, exactly. Time on his side, an outstanding young individual. Don't worry about it, he'll get a couple of goals before the end of the season, I'm sure.
Good jump there by Gordon Jury. McCann coming back, covering. There was nobody on this side for Aberdeen, though. Try to get that through to Johansson. He almost got the touch. Bernard did too much in that, and that was a wild tackle at Gordon Jury. Now McCann looking dangerous again. There's a little flick to Johansson, and he's just passed. Well, he did take it very well in his chest, but from looking at this angle, it was always going wide.
Yeah, it's good control by him. It's a little high. The defender does enough to put him off, and it's a good chance. It's a lovely little dink in.
He actually did very well bringing that down and
he
turning.
did, because it's quite high in his chest. If anything, maybe if he could just have killed it a little more dead, it would have dropped quicker for him. Maybe an awkward height for him, but just go back on the move initially. Gordon Jury had a right good look at Paul Bernard, because Paul's feet were very high and almost caught Gordon.
Should be the goalkeepers. Well, Thomas Meyer really had no chances for the goals on Saturday. Wasn't really tested all that much against Borussia, but looked confident. Here's Van Bronckhorst. Almost got that away. Derek White. Perhaps looking for the longer one again. Nicholson should have it covered, and plays it out intelligently. Well, Rangers have looked threatening on both flanks. Kanchelskis on the other side, with McCann this side. There's McCann away again. Did well to get that across. There's Kanchelskis. Yes, well, he timed his jump. The run was all right. That's too much. No, just kept in. Good play by Andy Dow. Paul Bernard again in midfield, getting more and more of the ball. Good fight. Easily cut off by Ferguson. Newman. Van Bronckhorst. Well, for a moment I thought he was going for the long pass again, Barry Ferguson. That's what I think a lot of people realise, that much of the play, Rangers play in midfield, comes through the creativity of Ferguson, and he's being closed down very closely. Certainly Dundee did that very successfully on Sunday. Wilson. Overhit, and far too obvious. Now White, no pressure on him. It's good tackle by Wilson. Gordon Jury swept that towards McCann. Worked the way down the outside, and once again you could see that Stavrum was getting in behind Amoruso. Good play forward by Juan Cobian, the Argentinian player on the right-hand side, coming from deep for Aberdeen. Two players going across for this. And they must be growing in confidence, Aberdeen. We've now played 28 minutes. There's still no scoring. They've had distinct chances. They get one again. For some odd reason, Gordon Jury turned away from Russell Anderson there. Youngster had a chance.
Yeah, he did. It hung just nice for him as well. No real challenge on him. You can see, if anything, maybe Gordon, I think it is, standing behind him, has just put him off enough. We'll see it better here. Gordon maybe just leaning a little, maybe not. He let him get a header on it. If he gets anything on that at all, that was another good chance.
The referee waving play on. Barry Nicholson to the goalkeeper, who normally takes the ball with his left foot. We saw that against Borussia. Kanchelskis. Andrew Kanchelskis started the game off brightly, sparkling down the right-hand side. Service hasn't been quite as prolific, though. The last 15 minutes, away goes McCann again. There's a little ball in towards Jury and touched behind by White. There was absolutely no margin for error there. That could have been either an own goal or getting in behind to Jury.
That was great, 1-2, superb. And I'll tell you something, there's been a finger pointed a few times at Derek White here, but that was brilliant defending. He knew exactly what to do, didn't hit the target with the ball, as a striker always say he's got to. Gets it away, because he knew that Gordon Jury was coming in behind. Good defending.
Once again, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst on that far side. Tourish corner kick that, though, trying the near side one. There's Kanchelskis, he's going to try the shot. That was brave covering again by White. Identifying the danger immediately and going straight towards him as a target.
Good control by Kanchelskis, the ball falling out the air. And it's dropped again nicely for him. I'm sure Derek will have a mitre tattoo in his thigh after that one.
I don't think commercials are allowed, Alan,
Too late, I've done
during
it.
the actual 90 minutes. There's
a
a little touch back there by Jury. And again, nobody in the middle for Rangers. Paul Bernard sweeping it away. Goalkeeper has come well outside his box. Now, Newman. There we are, that's the score at the moment. Exactly 30 minutes gone. Ferguson. Jury lying deeper. Thought he was going to be short with that. Kanchelskis. Held on to it well. Lovely little dummy there. Van Bronckhorst, that's better play by Rangers. Just put slightly behind Newman. Van Bronckhorst is going to try the shot. And you could see he was leaning back as he went for that, thus digging it up.
Well, we always say that you've got to shoot to score, and he had a chance there. It was good play. You can see how deep Aberdeen are. Look, they're right on the penalty spot, very deep in their own box, almost inviting Rangers to have a shot like that. And Bronckhorst did. Loricus couldn't keep it down.
Well, I don't know, they were discussing in the studio rightly. There we are, there, three gentlemen, and there is no question but their priority is next week, their top priority. They want into Europe in the year 2000, so that I'm not saying they're not caring about this result, but I don't think there's a needle, the sharpness there about this.
No, well, possibly
for
not.
them.
No, possibly not. I mean, obviously Europe now played such a big part financially for a club like Rangers now, and you'd be a little naive to say that certainly weren't.
Well, there's a short one, and Winter almost came in on it. Well, Barry Nicholson had a very good header earlier on in the game, back the way. This time, just jangling the nerves of the goalie. Well, Kobian. We're hitting Dundee United 1, Motherwell 0. There's the ball played down there. We're just getting a score there. Dundee United 1 up on Motherwell. Meanwhile, a free kick to Rangers. There's Van Bronckhorst. Johansson turning on it. Taking the ball in too wide a semicircle. Amoroso. Getting that for Kanchelskis. No Real dig behind it, though. McAllister. Amoruso. Well, we saw him we were mentioning the Champions League earlier on. We saw how one or two of the teams always tried to beat Amoruso by putting the ball high, just in behind him, testing his ability to turn quickly, and he was caught out once or twice that way. Newman almost got that, like by Stavrom. Cobain. Derek White. Give it away too easily, though. Newman. Nice ball on to Jury, to McCann. Running back in himself all the same. There's Wilson. There's a run by Kanchelskis again, and Jim Leighton read the danger very early. Out to that quickly. Just how long is he going to go on, Jim Leighton? I mean, he apparently had great saves on Saturday, and why not? There's a lovely, solid header that time by Amoruso, or just picked up by Ferguson. Cobain doesn't look all that settled on the right-hand side. I think McCann, if he's given a lot of the play, might be able to take him apart. Andy Dow took it wide. Looked for a little 1-2 again, and that was typical Ian Jess. There's no doubt that this player, about whom Celtic had made inquiries several weeks ago, has the ability to take balls like that and score spectacular goals.
Most definitely. His first touch is a good touch, you know, he's come across, he's made himself available. Amoruso comes out to shut him down. His first touch is a good one, right foot, left foot shot. We only really speculative, a half chance, but nevertheless, it won't be the first time Ian scored from a distance like that, and he's quite entitled to have a goal.
Jury not getting the touch he wanted. Amoruso, clever little chest there. Oh, Jury taking his eye off it. He needs a few games yet. There's a mistake by the man I thought was pretty vulnerable. McCann getting it over, and Kanchelskis swooping in on top of that.
Or not, as the case were.
Try to get in over the player. Now here's Nicholson to Ferguson. Now Jury. McCann. Away he goes again. Yes, he is taking this man to the cleaners. And the ball is not over yet. Jim Leighton was claiming it had gone back into play. Trying to get that to his left foot. Ferguson can't get the shot in. And Cobain, when Neil McCann skinned him there, I think the poor fellow has done in his hamstring. He stretched out, and you could see the agony there. And we went with the play, but quite clearly this man was going to be severely. Look at the leg out there, Alan.
Yeah, most definitely. It looks as though the hamstring has just twanged there, but it was good skill by McCann because he shaped to cross it, knowing all the time he's going to take him on the outside. Though he hasn't particularly had a fantastically good 40 minutes or so, but it's not good to see someone getting injured. But it was very, very good skill by McCann.
Well, indeed, I think a lot of the Rangers play on both flanks has been effective. Well, this is how it came about. Now McCann has been showing them the ball like that and then sweeping it away from him.
He almost looks as though he lost his footing a little there, as though he just overstretched it.
I think Jim Leighton was right, by the way. I think that ball curved out and then back in again. But I don't think he's going to take any further part in the game. Sadly for Aberdeen, very gingerly getting him across there. Well, Juan Cobain got free contract when he played in the Premiership with Sheffield Wednesday. And I think Mark Perry is about to come on. Mark Perry, who's been a Don supporter all his days. Signed from Dundee United back in '98. Was very much local supporter. And let us not underestimate the quality and the values somebody can bring out in playing for the jersey.
Well, absolutely. There isn't maybe just so much of that at the moment. He's a big lad, Perry. Scored a fantastic goal from outside the box. He loves to shoot as well.
Yep.
He knows he'll have his work cut out. I hope he's had a good warm-up. Mr. McCann will give him problems, presumably.
Now, here's Amoroso. Just about 7 minutes of the first half remaining. You can hardly say, if we're talking about the Rangers' central defence, that Scott Wilson has let the side down so far. Any fragility has been shown through the captain, but he's renowned for his rather up and down form from time to time. Here he is again. Here's the ball straight away. Jess, that's a decent ball to the left. Trying to put it out to the outside to Winter, and there's Amoroso getting it away coolly. Now Nicholson to Kanchelskis, and Nicholson does the wise thing. He really was boxed in that side. Ball is run over though. Well, the ball played to the left, and Didau has been picking it up very well there, and there's a little flick here, and watch Amoroso touched it away. That time he certainly didn't panic. Well, Barry Nicholson suddenly turned and looked at the bench. I don't think Dick Advocat was exactly saying well done to him. It's certainly stiffened up. Well, the referee's going to have, there he is. He gave his young fullback a stern instruction, and Arthur Newman was talked to by the referee.
Maybe he wants to win this more than we anticipate.
Well, he's like all great managers, he's a bad loser.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he did say he wants to win all of them, obviously. Yeah. That's what we were talking about early on when I was talking about Europe. Financially, obviously, there's big gains, but you know, if you can do the clean sweep domestically, that's certainly a right few feathers you can put in your cap, of course.
Well, so managers, when they lose, Alan, as you know, you don't want to go near them for a week. Fergie up here was certainly one of those. Free kick to Rangers. Yeah, hamstring injury, we've had that confirmed. Looked a pretty bad one at that. Here's Amoroso. Arthur Newman made the break on the left. Decides not to go for that. Another poor pass out of defence. Nice turn by Winter.
It's a good ball, the cross ball, if you can switch play like that. But that's a couple of times the big man's given the ball away very cheaply. No need to do that.
Good tackle by Wilson, but the referee thought there was a push in there. Free kick to Aberdeen now. Just maybe slightly too far away for a dab at goal, although certainly Ian Jess is measuring it up. Tries a touch inside, and Stavrum came in again. Well, the Aberdeen supporters think that was a corner kick. Well, this man does seem to have the ability to elude defenders.
Well, again, it's a run. You can see coming from deep, a good run across. What Wilson's actually done quite well, because if it doesn't go with him, that's a definite goal. It's an intelligent ball coming away. And he does make some good runs, Stavrum, but that is an absolute stonewall corner. I can't believe Stuart Dougall's not giving Aberdeen that.
Scott Wilson coming in again, and Trevor Stephen may pick that up at half-time. That's certainly one player who wants to show his manager something, and he's barely put a foot wrong tonight. Free kick. 2 minutes to half-time. Flicks that out to Nicholson. Lets that go through to the goalkeeper, who yet again has to play it with his left foot. Good touch by McAllister. That should be throw to Rangers. During a cluster of players there, it's finding it hard to get into the game. So the long lie-off, of course, and it takes a lot to rub off the raw edges of a long injury. He's trying very hard. Sometimes Alan players try just that little bit too hard.
Well, that actually may be the case, because you know how difficult it is actually at the moment to try and get into this Rangers team. And if you get a chance, you've got to do everything you can to try and grab it.
Free kick. That's a decent one. Stavrum coming up again. That time it was Anderson, and now McCann. McCann actually turning into trouble, and kind of a trifle fortunate to get away with a whistle blowing free kick. Here's Wilson. There's the ball played in again, Alan, and there's Stavrum.
Got to say that Newman's defended it well. They've certainly had a couple of half chances in this game, Aberdeen. There's nothing in at the moment, actually, absolutely nothing at all.
Here's McCann. Great plays, having a good night. McCann and Ferguson. Well, I don't know why he looked to be actually blaming McCann there, but no fault of McCann's. It's now 2-0 Dundee United, we hear. Turn up for the books, given the form of Motherwell recently. Now we're into stoppage time. Oh, it's a great tackle by Nicholson. So there we are. Two of the youngsters who barely get an opportunity playing well tonight, Nicholson and Wilson. 2 minutes, I think, of stoppage time to come. Derek White, ex-Celtic player, went down to Middlesbrough, where he was captain for a spell, of course. Gives that to Winters, though. Anderson. Look for a little 1-2. Winters has the pace for it. And Nicholson catches him again, and I think perhaps Alan Winters should have played that. Winters should have played that ball right away.
I think the reason he didn't was I think he's almost looking at his superiority over Barry Nicholson. Barry just gets a touch on it, and I think it had been anybody else, I think he'd have whipped that ball in with his left peg, and I think he's just been a little bit too complacent there, Robbie Winters.
Up goes the goalkeeper. There was a little touch there. Ferguson puts it down, and the break. Van Bronckhorst. Anderson doing very well, keeping at him, snapping at his heels. There goes McCann. And that should be a corner. Rangers with about, I would say, about 30 seconds or so of stoppage time remaining. Last chance of this half. And once upon a time, that stand at the back used to be filled to the brim. Just on the end of this half now, is that played in? Down to Wilson, who's up there now. There goes the halftime whistle. So no scoring in this game at halftime, but if you had to pick out anybody at all in this game, then it would be the newcomer Ariel Stavrum, who's shown elusive qualities, certainly enough to bother this Rangers defence.
Absolutely, and I think Ebbscombe will be reasonably pleased with the way his team's gone. They really don't look as if they're team at the bottom of the league. They've played some good play, but unfortunately no goals yet, and let's hope it gets on in the second half.
Well, there we are. The second half, of course, you'll be seeing in entirety live here as I hand you back now to Jim Delahunt with the score 0 each.
Thanks very much indeed, Archie. We'll be hearing from Stuart McKimmie and Trevor Stephen on that first 45 minutes, and just a couple of minutes after this very short break. Don't go away. It's goalless. Stuart McKimmie and Trevor Stephen watching that first half action with me. Trevor, what did you make of it so far?
I thought the game started very brightly and there's chances at both ends and it faded somewhat towards the end, but I think Aberdeen have got to be happy with their first half showing. They've created quite a few chances and that back four of Rangers is not the usual back four, and there's been one or two holes. Amoruso's having one of those games where he started very brightly and then faded very fast, and he's given Stavrum one or two opportunities to get around him.
Stuart, the Aberdeen fans in the stadium tonight, they'll be pleasantly surprised by what they've seen so far.
Well, I certainly am. It's definitely the best they've played this season, especially that first 20 minutes. I think after Rangers actually started the game very well, but Aberdeen hemmed them in on the next 25, and they've done it very well. I mean, they've passed the ball away about. Stavrum certainly got into some great positions, and they've got a great chance. Yeah,
this fella Stavrum, we're going to see this first effort they had, and there was some doubt as to about this shot, but he meant what he knew what he was doing there.
He definitely meant that, and Amoruso was just backing off there and allowing Stavrum to make his way in towards the box, and nearly hit the top corner with it. It was a great effort.
You just feel there's a goal in this man tonight, Stuart, don't you?
It certainly is. It was Straightons there, a great 1-2 off Ian Jess's head, set that shot up, and it was a lot closer actually. We've got a perfect view of it, and it was just inches away from the post.
And he was involved again when Guntveig got a shot in as well. He managed to get forward and get the shot in, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think their movement has been very good at Aberdeen, and there's a great chance here. Only no excuse you can give him, it's on his weaker left foot, but really from that distance you should be hitting the target.
They were forced to make a change, obviously, with Kobian having to go off. We hear that he has a very badly torn hamstring, but Mark Perry, a natural replacement at right back? Well,
that's it. He's really a centre half, but he's fitted into the right back position many times, and a bit unlucky for Kobian. He seemed to catch his studs in the ground and torn his hamstring, so another worry for Eb Skodal.
Yeah, another worry for Eb Skodal, but it's goalless at half-time, and we'll be looking back more at that first half performance from both sides after this very short break. Don't go away. Hi, welcome back to Pittodrie. It's Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0 at half-time in the CIS Insurance Cup quarter-final. Let's just have a look at the statistics covering that first 45 minutes. Both sides managing 8 shots on goal, but just 1 on target, and that was for Aberdeen. Stuart, I suppose that does sum up the first half, really.
It certainly does. Neither of the two goalkeepers have been tested at all. I think it was actually Meyer that had the only save, but it was quite comfortable for him.
Trevor, you were noting during the first half that maybe Gordon Jury's just half a yard off the pace.
He's not getting into the game. I think he's got a problem because he's playing a bit behind Jonathan Johansson, and I think possibly Jury would be better playing up where Johansson's playing. Although you need two of them playing up there. I don't think Dick Abercorn wants to play 2 out-and-out strikers. What they have Kinchowski's playing very wide on the right, McCann very wide on the left, and that leaves Van Bronckhorst and Ferguson in the middle, who've got a lot of room to cover, and I think Aberdeen took advantage of that in the first part of the game.
And you pointed out to us beforehand, Stuart, that this fella Stavrum would be playing up front on his own, and he's had some great chances, this header in particular.
Well, he looks a very brave striker. He's not scared to put himself about, and a bit unlucky there. It was a good ball in, and unfortunate not to hit the target.
And the supply's coming for him, isn't it? Winter's out left getting these crosses in.
Well, the thing is that Stavrum and Winters have actually been out wide putting in some decent crosses, and there's another opportunity coming up there, but no, the two of them have got wide. Jess, Stavrum and Winters have all, I mean, he should have done better with that one. He certainly had a great chance there to hit the target, but
just a hint of offside there, Trevor, but I think he's played on.
Well, I think you get that with the freshness of this back four that Rangers are playing, that they're not going to get that line absolutely perfectly spot on because they're not used to playing with each other. And once or twice, Stavrum's been clever. Paul Bernard has played him in once or twice and managed to get opportunities on goal. And Stuart says he might have done a bit better there.
One of the few chances that fell to Rangers, Barry Ferguson, and we've said before that he's not the greatest shot, especially from outside the box, but he has a pop.
I think it will come with Barry. I think he's capable of scoring goals on a regular basis. And I think when he gets the confidence, when 1 or 2 hit the back of the net, then I think he will improve his goal scoring ratio. He just dragged that one across the face of the goal, but I think it's in him. I think it's just only a matter of time before it comes.
That's right, he always seems willing to have the shot, so the confidence must be there somewhere.
Yeah, you have to take the shot to score the goal, and I think Barry, as long as he continues doing that, then one of these days one's going to fly in and that'll give him the confidence to go on.
And there was Ian Jess managed to get a shot in as well. We've seen some nice touches from him, Stuart.
Yeah, but he hasn't been in a game really enough for Aberdeen's liking, but this was a great opportunity for him, and he's very unlucky not to hit the target, just over the bar and maybe a yard over the bar.
Yeah. OK, well, the teams are back out for the second half of this quarter-final tie. Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0. Let's rejoin Alan McInally and, first of all, Archie McPherson.
Thank you, Jim, again. We can tell you there's a change in the Rangers side where Ian Ferguson comes on, that veteran of the Rangers side who's in his testimonial year. And we're talking about playing for the jersey. He certainly did. And he's replacing Gordon Jury. So there will be that reshuffling of the Rangers side as Ferguson, I think, picking up what Trevor Stevens said with the width that Rangers had and the lack of substance in midfield. And maybe that is going to be altered. Alan.
Yeah, Trevor's absolutely spot on. That's exactly why he's looking for width down both sides. Johansson will play up front of his own. There'll be more support from Fergie from a little deeper, and Fergie obviously doesn't like to go and play up front of his own, so I think it's a good change by Dick Advocaat.
Touched on there by McCann. Amaruso. That's a bit of ball as Kanchelskis follows it this time. Johansson leaving it to Kanchelskis. Talking about a lot, Stavrum picking it up on the right-hand side, followed up by Van Bronckhorst, just got away with it. Johansson not sharp enough. Well, that's played inside, and I think offside. Yes, flag went up instantly. Ian Ferguson taking up his traditional role right in the middle of midfield. Comes Wilson. First bad pass out of defence he's made, all the same. Robbie Winters. Tremendous pace, and Barry Nicholson sort of ushered him over the line more than anything else. No direct tackles on that. So throw to Rangers. Loose. Winters picking it up. Left away by Ferguson. Now Kanchelskis. Better play by Kanchelskis this time. Can he touch it on? Well, that's much more like the Kanchelskis that we expected to see a lot in Scottish football, and which has been hidden very decidedly under the bushel. There's his run now. I mean, he made his reputation in runs like this, Alan.
Yeah, he did. But you know, the ball's always just running away from him. He just managed to nick a couple, and eventually just overruns it. The midfield player comes across, but you want him to go and take players on. Sometimes he kind of a chicken without a head. Sometimes, you expect him to just have a little more composure. But they certainly got pace, and don't rule him out of creating something down that right-hand side for Rangers.
Here's McCann. Two players going with him, though. Van Bronckhorst. Ferguson could certainly drive them in from there, and neatly put back. That was Mark Perry who came in and finished off that move. Now Jess. Amaruso turned again by Stavrum. Wilson gets in there. I don't think that was actually a pass back. No, it wasn't the pass back. It was very much an intervention. Referee right on top of that. Ferguson. There's McCann just taken out of it by Perry. Now McCann really has been in a mood in this game. Oh, that was just
That's a pass back.
off the shin. Let us disagree, but we have a vote in this.
I'm only kidding on.
Yeah.
I tell you what it was, Archie. It wasn't particularly good control by Scott Wilson.
No,
They've got away
bad
with
control.
that actually a little bit there, but I think Stuart Dougal made a good decision there. Would have made it interesting had he given it.
Anderson picked up beautifully by Van Bronckhorst. That's a bit of ball to Johansson. Almost turned his man there, and I think excellently Derek White just simply kept his eye on the ball, and it all ends tamely with the goal kick. Jim Layton has said many a game against Rangers, thwarted them on many an occasion. Positive header by Ferguson. Derek White. Winters. A nice play by Winters, but too many Rangers players around him. Nicely whipped forward there. Now there's a bit of space. Great tackle by Amarusa that time. Winters. I thought there might have been a slight body check, but Kanchelskis is with it again and fights in on it. Ferguson. Johansson lays it out. McCann, Rangers attacking in numbers now. And in comes Kanchelskis from the outside, just whipped away there as McAllister anticipated the danger of the Russian at his back. Corner kick.
It's a little teaser, isn't it, in between defender and goalkeeper. Does Jim come? To be fair, Jim McAllister does the right thing and just clears the danger there.
And Broncos coming across to take this as Scott Wilson moves into the box along with Amoruso. Into the far side. Well, as that went across there, McCann was coming in from the left and just picked it out.
It's a good ball into the back post. Just gets enough on it. Tell you what, if it just sneaks in, there's no way the goalie's getting it.
There's a good run forward here. Andy Dow coming up. Read well by Ferguson. Flipping that away, but Aberdeen picking up balls in midfield more and more now. Dow. Winters. Looked to be a little shove and stab wrong. Almost got done in that. Away goes Amoruso. Van Bronckhorst. He'll try the long one to Johansson. Can he bring it down? He does. But that's all that White would allow. No more space than that. Just a touch in the chest. And he was in on him very quickly. Look at determination about Derek White now. They're realizing, I think it's sinking in slowly. But definitely that they could possibly win this game. Townsley has pulled one back for Motherwell here, making it 2-1 against Dundee United. Ferguson. There's nobody there. Newman. Now Ferguson. Placed that out accurately enough. Kanchelskis, two players around him, and he goes for the cross very quickly. And already Ian Ferguson has come on and sprayed about a good few easy-looking passes, but effectively.
Yeah, absolutely. He's good at that, Ian. He likes to give a bit of depth. He's a very good passer of the ball, as he showed. It wasn't a lot of space for him just to thread the ball through to Kanchelskis, but a good pass, keeping possession and keeping Aberdeen pushed back.
There's McAllister down there. Picked up by Jess. Usually does attack from midfield very well. He's got pace and good control. That is a pass back. With it at far side again. Gunvai trying to pick it up. For the Rangers. There's an Aberdeen player down, and the referee has stopped the play. And I think somebody's going to be booked here. I think it's Barry Ferguson. Well, let's have a look at this incident. There's Dow there, and he went down the side of him. The referee allowed the play to go on before, very rightly allowed the play to go on before stopping it there, making sure that player was down, and Ferguson gets a yellow card for that.
Yeah, it wasn't a real ruthless tackle, but he certainly left his studs in and just caught the side of Andy's shin. A little cheeky by Barry there. Just
might have been down the side of the ankle as well. They're just manipulating the foot now. Eddie Skodal.
He'll be all right.
Well, Eddie Skodal, as Alan was saying, is getting his own side together. But even if you do get your own side together, it takes a little while to face the psychological barriers of picking yourself up from the bottom of the league. And there are two men with a great deal in their minds, because Rangers haven't had any depth in their European experience since '93, and now they have a chance of going through next Tuesday, but there's still a lot to be done out there in Dortmund. Especially if the captain tries to measure out passes like that.
It's going to be a hot atmosphere. They're certainly giving themselves a great opportunity.
Call that the cardiac pass, I think.
Yeah, he's good at it.
Wilson. There's a run in by Ferguson. Well, he's been told to push forward, Ferguson, Leighton getting it out. This game, of course, let me remind you, could go to extra time and penalties. Nicholson, free kick. So the youngster has played very well, Barry Nicholson. Fitting in neatly, confident on the ball. I think he wanted a short one, and does. Is Ferguson. But picking up a point, Alan, that we're making in the studio. Stewart and Trevor, that's meant for Kanchelskis. Goes for the corner. Picking up the point that they made, the goalkeepers have been virtually redundant.
Yeah, they have, and one shot and goal. It was only Meyer, I think, that Stewart said had a save, and he was quite right. And there's been a few shots on the goal, but high, wide and handsome, most of them. And I mean, Jim will be delighted he hasn't had a great deal to do. I mean, that's probably what we need. We need a little incident in the game, a couple of half chances, a goal would be nice.
In hard. Well, they've defended these well. Now Van Bronckhorst on his form, can be superb with these. Remember in the Champions League, the goal by Amoruso from his corner kick. Go to Rangers, Nicholson with it. You wonder if Ian Ferguson the ball now, given the Rangers injury crisis, if it held on till next week, whether he's up for a place in midfield in Europe. Well, Wilson had crept forward there, getting, I think, a little bit impatient at what's been happening in front of him. There's Amoruso. Too fine there by McCann. Well, the game is very much decidedly in the doldrums at the moment. Well, that's to the goalkeeper's natural left foot. Van Bronckhorst, Kanchelskis on the chase. McAllister's there. There's Kanchelskis. That's a good tackle by the youngster, going in hard. Playing against one of the most experienced wingers in European football. Here's Nicholson. Into no man's land. Good tackling by Ferguson. Rangers supporters below me not only liked it, but expected it. Still no scoring. It's Ferguson kept his head under pressure there. McCann. That's a good ball. A bit of pace is required here by Van Bronckhorst. There's a lovely little ball inside. McCann with a great chance. That ball should have been swept across goal. A little bit greedy that time, holding on to it. Trifle too long. Here's the break. Ian Jess. There's Robbie Winters coming up, and there's nobody behind him. And Alan, I wondered, did he miss that, or was he leaving it for the dummy? It's difficult to say.
Yeah, I think he was coming very fast to him, and I think maybe that's why he thought he would leave it and hope that somebody was supporting behind him. Just going back to the Rangers chance, a couple of times Neil McCann's been in a good area.
Here's Arthur Newman coming up. Plays it wide. Van Bronckhorst in a very good position. He's going to let fly, and it just passed. Corner kick. And at least that was a decent shot at goal. We've been lacking so many of these in the games. And off the backside, you could say, the many words we can pick to describe that piece of the anatomy, it's a corner kick in any case.
Just what the game needed, though. You need a little bit of direct play. Good play by Van Bronckhorst, shot.
Well, he varies them between near post and far post corner kicks. Good play. Kanchelskis. Paddy Ferguson was in there. Now Amados is going to let fly. Well, sometimes he can bury them, but I think on average the percentage is that it's going to go over by about 80%.
Well, it's good play by Rangers down the right. The run was from, I think that was Fergie across the near post. He's going to have a shot, shut down by the midfield, but big man's never scored from there.
Well, the intention was there. Andy Dow had started off in the run. Ball overhit.
Interesting as well, actually, that Aberdeen really haven't had that, really very many anyway, flowing passing movements that Stuart was talking about. Really, they were lacking in that, and seemingly from a decent first half, they really have failed to put any combination at all against Rangers in the second half.
I think Ferguson has made a change.
Well, I think with him sitting in there and them having so many players in midfield, they had the opportunity to do that. This half, they really haven't, as of yet, been at the races.
I'll make it about 17 minutes of the second half gone. And also did get a touch to that. Ian Jess, that's a lovely ball. Now Stavrum in a very good position. Can he take him? Oh, that's almost away. Brilliantly saved by Nicholson. Well, the Rangers fullback is having an outstanding night, as we'll see here. This, as it comes across there, Stavrum. What for Nicholson coming in, Alan? Well, in actual fact, I think it was his presence more than the touch.
Yeah, probably. You can see Robbie Winters here getting across Nicholson, in fact, and does really well, but just behind him a little. It's a little bit of a miss, I think, possibly. Nicholson certainly put him under a bit of pressure. It's a good ball across the box. And I suppose we might just put that down to Robbie missing it rather than Barry saving the day.
Now, Wilson. A little bit slow in possession that time. Winters. There's free kick. Following Russell Anderson all the way. It's a bit of passing move by Aberdeen that time. Stavrum, too many players around him. Rangers coming away with it. Arthur Newman. Now Ferguson. That's a beautiful ball by Ferguson. Barry Nicholson making a run on the right. There's Kanchelskis, look at his pace, but look also at Robbie Winters coming back. Recognised the danger. Well, the play's going on even though Winters went down, and it's played forward by Jess, trying to take on Scott Wilson. Still Jess. Played inside. Andy Dow, what's he going to try? Still an Aberdeen player down at the moment, and whipped away. Scott Wilson now. Bernard. Rangers have held the line though. Anderson. That's a decent ball inside, and you could certainly tell that Winters' intention of getting in there first, and succeeded with that little touch.
Well, it's been a good battle between the two of them, because he thwarted Kanchelskis a minute ago going down there, and that's actually Kanchelskis that stops Robbie getting a clear head on the ball.
Wilson wanting to come forward again, did that well enough. Well, easily dealt with. Anderson has played very well when he's cut into the middle of the penalty area to cover up like that. Ian Jess again, more and more in the game. That's the player I was talking about, Russell Anderson. Played forward by Gunfight. And free kick quickly taken. That's a beautiful ball inside. Ferguson. Arthur Newman with a shot. But some of the finishing has been poor at either end.
Certainly shooting boots haven't been on tonight, but I tell you, it all starts from their captain Amoruso, who takes a quick free kick. It sets the tempo, they get a little break. It comes to a shot for Newman. Can't hit the target though, but you've got to raise the pace a little bit and try and put your opponents under a bit of pressure. It was good initial play by Amoruso to start that.
Almost halfway through the second half, still no score. Kanchelskis, three players converging on him. Away goes into the middle. Yes, Winters went with him. He's been told that Kanchelskis must be counted, and Winters certainly has the pace to do that.
He's also played very, very well, Archie, as well. I think if there was a man of the match poll at the moment, I think you really go for Russell Anderson and Robbie Winters. I think both have been excellent.
Here's McAllister. Got there by Bernard Anderson. Good run forward, Aberdeen with better play now, and a straight through though to Thomas Meyer. What can Rangers do on a counter-attack? Here's Ferguson. Only really been playing in little spurts, Rangers, in this game. McCann, quite a second half. When Broncos easily touched away from him. There he is again. Ferguson, better ball. Newman leaving it. There's McCann. Very, very predictable play there by Rangers, especially McCann. Trying to get back at it all the same. Aberdeen do get it away. There's Amoruso though. Just got away with that. Ferguson plays it wide, but it's not the best of passes. Nicholson has kept his position at the back very well, hasn't attacked all that much. Well, given that you have Kanchelskis in front of you, perhaps not all that necessary. Andy Dow. Goalkeeper will try to get that to his left foot again. You get to this stage, Alan, many a game you said to yourself, one goal will decide it, and then when you say it, something like 4 pop into the back of the net. Well,
we'll just say
I'm saying it, one goal, exactly just what I'm about to say. One goal could settle it here. There's Kanchelskis. And there's McCann trying to get Ferguson up. Down as Van Bronckhorst tried to come up on it as well. Here's Amoroso. Rangers maybe picking up the pace of the game just a little bit more. While Arthur Newman was moving back the way, and Rangers giving little impressions from time to time that are just out of touch. 20 minutes of the game remaining. Tries to get that to Johansson. I think there was a little nudge, yes, free kick. Jonathan Johansson has scored a hat-trick the last time he was here. He is digging in hard, yes. Hasn't been much in the game, hasn't really got going, as was the case against Dundee on Sunday. So easy with the chest. Kanchelskis trying to turn on it. This boy has played him very well, McAllister, and he's coming forward himself now. Winters. Now. Bernard. Perry. They are keeping possession without making any great measure of penetration. They might now. Bernard. Got inside. Oh, look at this! Just touched away. There was no cover. And off the goalkeeper again. Just tried to put it away. Terrible marking by that Rangers defence, and they ought to have been more savagely punished than they were.
Incredible there. That's what the game needed. Get the crowd up for it as well, a half chance. And I think the shot eventually from Jess, I don't think the goalie knew much about. They keep the pressure on with the corner.
Well, here's the angle that it was put in initially. The goalkeeper just pushing it away. And that came off Wilson eventually. And that was the danger really averted at that stage. Unbelievable freedom that Stavrum got inside a penalty area. Amoroso positive, and having given him the praise that we did in the first half, that was a bad lapse. He should have put that away. Here, anyway, there's Jess. Winters tries to go in, but a little push on Nicholson. Free kick to Rangers, and that means the danger abates at a stage where Aberdeen are quite clearly playing with much more conviction than Rangers, without getting appropriate results. I'm not sure that Dick Advocat will like that kind of play. Long and predictable pass through the middle. Giving the Aberdeen time almost to yawn before picking it up. Far too obvious. There's McCann trying to go in. Now Newman. Touched that with his right foot that time. Kanchelskis. I think it was an awkward ball from Ian Ferguson, and in fact he apologises for it. Now the last thing either of these teams will want, Alan, I think especially Rangers, I mentioned the number of competitive games they've played since the start of the season. In fact, 6 big important games in the last 28 games. 28 days. The last thing they want is extra time.
Well, it's certainly going. The game is going, certainly. It's heading to extra time. You just need someone with a little bit of quality. That's that piercing pass that will break the defence, and there hasn't really been too much of that tonight. If anything, Aberdeen in the first half, but the way it is right now, this is easily going to extra time.
That's it across, and McCann had come in too far. That's perhaps just a little bit fortunate to get it over.
And of course, both managers with, okay, that's Ferguson on, only Pintila, Stephen Carson on the bench, their availability to sort of change the whole sort of tactics is simply not there. Yeah, exactly.
They have to change this rule.
Yeah, exactly, and it makes it, you know, very difficult for the manager if you want to, you know, completely change the way the game's been played and, you know, bring different personnel on, and they just don't have that opportunity to do it.
Here's Ferguson. Amoroso dabs it towards Van Bronckhorst. McCann. Good position by Van Bronckhorst. Newman, and that is flicked over the bar by McCann when it looked as if he was picking his spot, and a look of anguish, and no wonder. Self-recrimination there. Watch it as he scoops it. Oh, it was well wide.
Well, he's tried to be very smart. Good vision from Newman, a little dink back. I mean, the idea is perfect by McCann, just the execution's not there. And quite honestly, actually, if you're 15 out, whatever, from the penalty spot, I think low and hard is your decision there. You know, you're very, very close. You have to be so precise when you're going to do that. And I think power, more than anything else, might have been the better outcome of that one. But that's a glorious chance miss for Rangers.
Down. Just touched over. Still 0-0. Exactly 15 minutes remaining. Run by McCann. That's a better run by him. Inside to Johansson. Good support by McAllister again. He read the danger very well. Now the counter-attack by Aberdeen. I think there'll be a free kick for that, but the danger was thwarted by Ferguson, just using a bit of body.
Well, his arm's certainly on. Both are on him, maybe, certainly, and he's going to get booked for it, Ian Ferguson. Presumably for maybe the way he's spoke to the referee, emotions actually that he's mouthing to him. Fergie maybe a little unlucky. Certainly using his weight to try and push the man off the ball, but very, very soft booking for him.
So Ian Jess will take this. Goalkeeper has committed himself to it. Didn't take it all that cleanly, and I think he was appealing to the referee that he might have been fouled there. Well, that's touched in by McCann, and nobody was covering, and symptomatic, as I pointed out earlier, a kind of discordance amongst the Rangers players in midfield, just not knitting together. Watch the goalkeeper for this one. Well, he was put under pressure. I don't think he was fouled, though. Corner kick. Way by Ferguson. Yes, I think McCann was backing into his player, and now he's becoming animated. He's been rather uncharacteristically quiet, and now the referee is going to have a word with him, saying, I'm not doing anything wrong. Sure, the lip readers have a field day when they close in on this man.
He's trying to be very nice there, but inside a bit he is absolutely boiling. Did money change hands?
I don't know. I tell you what.
At least he seems to be in good humour, though, doesn't he? Cold, but good humour.
A boxing diplomat.
Absolutely.
Kanchelskis. Now then. Looked as if he was being on a one-on-one there, but decides to go infield again. In fact, he seemed to lack the confidence to go on his own that time. Good run by Newman, though. Oh, that's much too hard. That was played, I think, by his right foot. He's a very classy player, there's no question at all about that, but extremely one-footed. Well, you know, if you are playing a lot of games, Alan, in a season, and you get to a period like this, would you rather play more games with less training?
Well, you don't really get days off, though, not particularly, because I think the way the clubs are run now, you're in mostly every day anyway doing something, but games can look after themselves. But I think actually you're getting a reaction now from the Champions League, because not only are they very, very hard games, I think mentally it takes a lot out of you. You know, when you come into this competition and you're looking, even in Saturday's performance when they got, or Sunday rather, beat by Dundee, you know, you can have a particular reaction, and he's trying to, you know, use different players and things so not playing all the time, and they're just going through a very, very hard time at the moment. It's not easy.
Winters. Nice little turn by Winters. Ten minutes to go, still no scoring. Locked out, Van Bronckhorst to McCann. Easily brushed off the ball again, but here comes Newman. Leaving it to Van Bronckhorst. Make sure by playing the safe ball. Here's Ferguson. Passed by Ferguson, it's a better run by him. Gets support. Again a bit obvious. A referee waving play on, in fact, Ferguson, and once again Johansson. So often in the game, I noticed that on Sunday as well, he seems to be on the wrong foot, off balance when the ball comes to him.
Well, his job tonight actually is holding the ball up more. It maybe doesn't suit him just as much because he likes to play off and use his pace and run in, and that really hasn't been the case for him tonight. But really, I mean, Archie, you can play any formation you want, 4-2, it doesn't matter. You need the players to deliver a little bit extra. Even Barry Ferguson driving from midfield on in there, you need them to change the game. Otherwise, this is not only going to be extra time, but presumably penalties as well. We just need a little bit better quality.
Here's Dow, Barry Nicholson going with him and tackles him well. Dow with it. Way by Amoroso. Nice little ball down the side, good understanding. Bernard coming up. Easily taken on that time. Still hanging in though. It's getting very tousy as Wilson nicks it away. Here's Van Bronckhorst. Now plenty space for Ferguson to come forward. Well, for some reason, Johansson gave up in a run.
I'll tell you, actually,
he certainly started off as if Ferguson knew exactly what he was going to do, and then he paused.
You just missed it, actually. It was actually great defending from Russell Anderson. He's actually checked. Good job, the referee never saw it. He checked Johansson's run to stop him going in there. Terrific bit of defending, using his head, not let him get a run on him. And that's exactly the reason why Johansson couldn't get to the pass.
Van Bronckhorst. Out of play though. Can force back into that. Newman. There goes Newman again. Well, he wanted Van Bronckhorst to make more progress down the left-hand side now. Here's McCann. Newman. There's a run inside, and Van Bronckhorst hadn't come closer soon enough. And every time that Arthur Newman has come forward like that, he's posed them difficulties, using his pace and skill. Now, Wilson wanted a bit of movement, and he gets it. Van Bronckhorst going in. Ooh, just taken away though. The linesman had his flag up just underneath me. So many 50-50 balls have been put forward to Johansson like that. Van Bronckhorst. Newman taking a bigger part in the proceedings now. Newman. Now here's Neil McCann. McCann. Cut inside now. There's a little ball through it almost. About to Barry Ferguson getting into the box again, giving Aberdeen some space in midfield. Expected run. Wilson going with him. Two Aberdeen players in the box there, and it's just there. Bernard's coming into that. Now that was a real chance there, and I think the ball might have been just a touch too high for him.
Possibly. He's made it not too bad. I'll tell you, from the move that Rangers had, it was actually Paul Bernard that cut it out and stopped the ball getting through. And he's really got to get into the box. He's very, very unlucky there. Maybe we will get a goal before the end of the game, but a great chance for him.
Not much time left now. Turned there by Van Bronckhorst. That must be a booking. There's Derek White. 5 minutes remaining. Yes, he was away all right. Free kick. Well, Barry Nicholson was screaming for the ball to be played, and he gets it. What can he do with it? Not very much. Trouble is, the ball came to him slightly later. Van Bronckhorst. There's Ferguson in with a chance, sliding right off it. Now, it wasn't the easiest ball to take, and his run was excellent, but he was falling slightly to the side.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. You can see it's a complete slice. Good design of the ball. It's a beautiful dink forward. He's not offside. Got to say it's a chance. He's taken.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's been running more into the box in the last 20-25 minutes.
Well, absolutely, and that's his job, because he's not playing as a holding player. Fergie's, his other namesake's doing that, but a good chance nevertheless.
Good tackle by Wilson. Van Bronckhorst doesn't get it. That was a weak pass that time, and Amoroso steps in now. Really had to get that. Amoroso putting too much work in the ball. Easy one for the goalkeeper that time. Now 3 minutes remaining. There's Johansson. Newman. Expected ball taken well by McCann, and it's well, he had to go for that, because it would have been buried if Derek White hadn't made the touch. That's two like that he's made in a game, because Johansson was in for the kill.
Well, it's a great ball in. It's about time he was getting out and getting the ball in. And
here we go to Kanchelski. There's a great save, it's a ball! Trained to the ball and got over the line. Amoroso has brought that free kick. Like to see that one again. Tremendous pace. Certainly hit wood. And the Rangers players thought it was in. And that was surely the nearest chance in the game. Well, let's watch it closely. Kanchelski drives it at goal. And it comes back out. I didn't quite see it. Here we go again. Little jink to the outside. Oh, just off the player, and he claimed that he was over the line. Free kick, though. Amoroso coming up to take it, and again, easily blocked, claiming that the Aberdeen line had broken far too quickly. Ferguson. Kanchelski again. It's an inviting one. Aberdeen make the clearance now. Dow and Broncos battled well for it. There's a run outside it. 1 minute remaining. An incredible miss that time, although a good save in the line. I think it was accidental. It went too quickly.
You think it was accidental? There's no way he knew anything. I think it was actually Andy Dow was trying to work out who was on the line there.
Now there's a lovely ball put through. There's a little dink at George. Oh, that was done without any great conviction, though. It was merely a man simply trying to put his head to leather, and
he's not headed it hard enough, has he?
Get the corner, though, as the game comes to its climax. All eyes now, the man has got to tell us how much stoppage time there is. So, corner kick. All the big men up there for Rangers. Just touched away. Back down to Ferguson, though. Doesn't get that cleanly enough to Van Bronckhorst as we head towards extra time. All of which, of course, you'll see. I think Scottish television schedulers are probably scratching their heads at the moment. Oh, well, that's football for you. Up it goes, and there's Van Bronckhorst trying to go in. Got to with a cross in, it's a lowish one this time, and a little dummy there. Well read. Aberdeen on the break now, Andy Dow. Away comes Amaruso. That's not a bad ball through, and just defended well again by the man we thought had been quite outstanding in this game, Russell Anderson. Still Rangers pounding forward. There's an infinite goal, too many Aberdeen players in there. And there goes the final whistle. We have, after all, extra time. No scoring in this game, very disappointing in many regards. And there is the final score. We'll be coming back, of course, immediately after our breaks for the rest of this game.
To Pittodrie, Celtic and Dundee United are through to the semi-finals. Here's extra time. Archie McPherson.
And ready to start extra time at Pittodrie. The score nothing each, of course, and Rangers have made the changing. The new Finnish acquisition is Tero Pentila. He has come on as a substitute for Nicholson, getting his first taste of Scottish football. A taste, I may say, that's been rather lukewarm for all of us here in the game that largely disappointed. Goalkeepers hardly out of it. Rangers towards the end of that, indicating that they suddenly realised that victory perhaps in 90 minutes would be essential, but Aberdeen holding out, and at this stage it could, I suppose, break anyway, although Rangers did give indications near the end that they're much more likely to score.
Yeah, I think even in the second half, Aberdeen really didn't put Rangers under a great deal of pressure, Archie, and I think if anything, over the play, Rangers certainly wound it up to a little bit of fever pitch at the end there, just couldn't break it down, and because that will get extra time, but it would be very, very difficult still to call it who's going to win this.
Here's Amaruso. Deciding to come forward himself. Chelskas. Very well watched indeed. And you can tell he was so well watched. That was a tame finish to that. Did get that over well, but once again McCann is in very deep. Here's McCann. Did better that time, but nobody in the middle for Rangers. Where was Johansson that time? Down to Ferguson. Arkanchelska is totally uncovered. Oh, over elaboration. There's Kanchelskis. Back to Ferguson and just touched away. That was heading for the net that time. Andy now getting in as the old warrior of Rangers got his drive in that time, kept it down very well, but again another body in the way.
Yeah, he did. Russell Anderson again it was actually that got in the way. Very good by him, getting his leg, anything will do. Gets it by for a corner.
Corner kick. Yeah, just in there. Swinging in to goal, Amoruso gets his head to it. Jim Leighton, I think, expecting something much harder there, slightly off balance, and regained it. There's Bentila. Got away with it there. Careless ball inside by McCann. Aberdeen on the break. Van Bronckhorst is there. Newman. Now, Rangers have got to get players to get into the middle. Once again hooked away by White. It's all Rangers at the moment. Here's Van Bronckhorst. I think that obvious ball again into McCann. Played very static though. That's a free kick. That was pretty harsh. There's Mark Perry going in very hard. Yes, the referee is booking him for this one. Across with the inside leg. Free kick. Let me first of all apologise for the quality of the picture that you're getting at the moment. We're working on it. Here's Van Bronckhorst. That's very deep indeed. Amoruso! Nobody up there to take advantage of that. Another chance for Rangers there. Good effort by the Rangers captain who went wide right for that long high ball. Wilson is up. There's Wilson trying to get a shot in. So many players in that penalty area. And at the moment, Aberdeen can do hardly anything to get out of their half. Here's Amoruso. Spreading the ball about, everybody behind the ball for Aberdeen at the moment. There's a run there by Johansson. He's had a lean night of it. McCann. All Aberdeen are doing at the moment is simply defend. Here's Ferguson. Waiting for somebody to come towards him. Ian Ferguson this time. Beautiful ball by Ferguson. Newman leaves it well. McCann, who's coming up for the header, it must be. No! Once again, Leighton is in there. Barry Ferguson has, at least a half a dozen times gone in to the box like this. He didn't angle it away, it was too straight.
Well, it's a great save. It's a beautiful cross to the back post. Barry Ferguson, different for him tonight, getting in. What a great save by Jim Leighton. A great save by Jim Leighton. He's banged into the post. You can see it's a great save by Jim Leighton. It really is. He's watching where Barry's going to head it. He's got his arms up and he's making himself a big obstacle to pass. He couldn't do it, and the old man hits the post. He won't be happy with that, but he'll be delighted he's managed to save for Aberdeen. Super save.
I think he's all right though. The post may need attention, but he's okay.
Yeah, you can see here he's looking at his feet. Great save, super save, and more of his chest.
It needed angling away to the right hand side. The opposite way from the goalkeeper was coming. Anyway, he's recovered, and in the last, towards the end of the first full 90 minutes, and again here Rangers have missed chances Although that one was certainly down to a great save, and Aberdeen about to make another change, I think. So I think Kevin Rutkiewicz is coming on as Amoroso puts it up high. Where is it coming down? Ferguson, beautiful control. Trying to get that forward to Van Bronckhorst. And there he is, Kevin Rutkiewicz. Now, there are a lot of strange foreign-sounding names. There's Ian Jess coming off. Aberdeen supporters don't particularly like this change, but Rutkiewicz comes on. As I said, a lot of foreign-sounding names, but let me bring you back to earth with a little bump, because he was signed from Larkhall Thistle. And there's another shot at goal there. Up came Van Bronckhorst. Rangers certainly putting the pressure on now.
Well, Aberdeen have now, Archie, almost ceased to be even taking part in this game. They're all over the place. It's got through pretty tamely there, but they've been putting a lot of pressure on Aberdeen. Ferguson really should have scored. And if you were a betting man just now, I don't think you'd be betting any money on Aberdeen to score. Rangers certainly look the more likely, and they really need to try and get the passes going as they were in the first half.
Johansson. Yes, Kanchelskis was just offside. Well enough meant, though, by the young Finn. Jamie McAllister with it. Wilson, Ferguson to Newman. There's McCann. There's Newman. Back to McCann. It's being chased across there by Anderson again, though. Van Bronckhorst. Throw to Rangers. Amoroso. Played inside by Pentila. Aberdeen simply cannot get the ball. Here's Newman, and that's a little bit too far, although I think he took off just a little bit too late for that. Well, Rangers have settled their minds in this, that they're going to keep the ball off Aberdeen, which have done very successfully in this first part of extra time. Doing nothing at all. As you said, Alan, they did not bothered Rangers in the second half.
No, even when they have possession, they're not managing to keep it. And all they're doing now, and they're doing a very, very difficult job, is just chasing shadows. And it's almost, you know, obviously a harder job than having the ball sometimes. And Rangers are looking far superior at the moment.
Here's Ferguson. Pentila. That's a very good ball to Kanchelskis. Just kept it in. That's going to be a goal kick. He stuck to his task very well, Jamie McAllister. Not in the slightest overawed by the reputation of this man, although it's a reputation he's hardly lived up to in Scottish football. Ferguson not getting that. Kanchelskis comes away with it. Did very well there, Kanchelskis. Little drive forward. Nobody giving support. And that's chested down. Van Bronckhorst following up very quickly on that. And Jim Leighton has had many games against Rangers like this. Courageous and also with great gymnastic abilities he showed in the prior save. He's down to that quickly enough. No danger there. Amoruso should get that, and does. Ferguson, into McAllister. G.Rangers. Into Johansson. Here's McCann. McCann again, that's not a bad effort. Nicely worked by Rangers with Barry Ferguson, and quite entitled to have a goal from that area.
Yeah, well, he's been actually more involved, and it's a good play, keeping the ball, not giving it away, using his little trickery, nice little 1-2. I mean, he's still a good 25 yards away. It's going to be something a little special to beat him.
Yeah, having said that, Alan, you know, Aberdeen have really got to try and do something here. They're just being taken apart without Rangers actually scoring.
Exactly, they're real passengers at the moment, and you know, when you get the ball out, you've got to keep it, and you've got to try and put your opposition under pressure. There's another example: lose the header, Rangers get possession, back to square one again. You're chasing shadows.
Here's Newman. Up to Ferguson. It's almost the equivalent of keepy uppy this. And all Aberdeen could do eventually with McCann making that mistake is put it out of touch. Well, Pentila just got away with that. And I think he held on to the player. It's going to be a free kick. Just being a little bit too clever. I think Amoruso telling him to play it straightforwardly. Imagine him saying that to him.
I'm glad you said that.
Free kick.
Actually, to be fair, Amoruso's not had a great deal to do in the second half at all. He's probably been, for the big man, he's probably been a little bored in the second half.
Pentila does get his head to it. On it goes to McCann. Now McCann. It's got to be cornered across there. Now to Arthur Newman. Got it on his right side though, getting into that left foot of his. There's a neat ball to Ferguson, and down it goes. Leighton again. I don't think there was as much sting as that as he would have liked. But again, good position by Ferguson again.
Yeah, it was a nice little play in here. He takes a touch, shot on the turn, wasn't defended properly enough, got a shot in, but not enough to beat Jim.
Pentila. Skinchelskas. On to Johansson, he's away this time. Can he do it? Just past! He's had an incredible night, this boy. The ball's been just eluding him when he's been in good positions, and now when he gets the break, he can't put it away.
Well, actually, he's been granted that because White and Anderson get in both each other's way. They're both trying to nick it. Gets a little break. First touch is okay there. Jim shuts the angle down. He strangled it, curled it across and away.
Well, I honestly, in all the times I've seen Aberdeen Rangers game, I have never seen an occasion like this. Okay, it's still nothing each, but Aberdeen have been so totally out of a game. Well, as the half-time whistle of extra time goes, there's still no scoring, and Rangers must be feeling incredulous about this situation, given the number and the quality of chances they've had ultimately.
Actually, well, I heard Stuart McKimmie saying that was the best Aberdeen they played all season. Well, that 15 minutes is most definitely the worst, because they simply haven't been in this game at all. They're going to make another substitution. That's Belabed, Rakid Belabed, and they really think a lot of this guy.
Yeah, he's the young Moroccan who's come on to the books now, Belabed, and as you said, he's got a great reputation He's only 21, signed from Racing White Daring Molenbeek, and very versatile. So can he do something special for an Aberdeen side who simply disappeared in the latter part of that first period of extra time. In fact, they were hardly in it in the whole 15 minutes. Here's Ferguson. McCann. And Brockhurst. There's the run by Newman. Yes, he let it go too far. It was a lot of backtracking by Ariel Stavrom, who had a good, let's say, first half hour in the game and then hasn't been seen.
No, he hasn't been seen at all in the second half. He's playing down this right-hand side. He hasn't managed at any time in the second half to get in and cause any sort of problems that he did in the first half.
Well, they're certainly not bored, that's for sure. I think they're getting a little bit concerned about this, given the chances that they've had.
Well, I think that's I think that's right, Alex. I think the chances they've certainly had to finish the game off now has been more than ample to kill them. I mean, Aberdeen's still in it. You know, if it goes to penalties, then it becomes a bit of a lottery. But they've certainly had chances to put Aberdeen away a long time ago.
There he is. That's the new lad, Belabed. Out Perry. Bernard came in. Corner kick to Aberdeen. They never even got near Rangers' goal line in that first 15 minutes, so this is a turnaround here at the start of this last period of extra time. Up comes Derek White. Tantalising ball put up there, but a weak ending. Remember Derek White scoring a great header against Rangers for Celtic at Ibrox just before he left at Parkhead. We're now 2 minutes into the second period of extra time. Amaruso gets it away, then Wilson. Wilson should cover this off. Played that round well. Yes. Reckless tackle there. That's going to be a free kick. Well, the significant factor that anybody has to pick up here about Rangers with the possession. They had a lot on Sunday as well. And it must certainly be alarming the management, the quality of possession and the inability to finish. Chip to the outside, Amaruso comes away with it though. It's Ferguson to Wilson. Now Van Bronckhorst. McCann going directly at them. Still McCann. Oh, he overdoes it though. Newman can't get it. Over elaboration by a man who should have been a bit more direct than that. Although at the same time they're not letting him settle, they're going after him, they're snapping at his heels all the time.
Well, they got men back there and put McCann under enough pressure that by the time he tried to get the ball to Arthur Newman, he pinged it a little too hard. There was nothing Arthur could really do about it. But again, a little disappointing from Rangers. But numbers at the back they have, Aberdeen, makes it very difficult.
And Rockers trying to get in on that. Down missing out. Belabed pushing that forward. Free kick. I thought he was going to escort him up the tunnel there. Crowded penalty area again, not unexpectedly. Derek White. And it goes, and it looped over, I think. They all turned and watched it. Some legs turning to jelly looking at this ball eventually.
Yeah, he's got his touch on it. Will it drop agonisingly in? No, far too much on it. A lot of tired legs for sure, but at least they've been up the park in the second half, Aberdeen, because the first half it was a completely non-event for them. Although Rangers still have failed to score. And actually, what you were talking about, Archie, about quality, Dick Advocaat actually spoke with me after the Bayern game. They said, you know, with a little more quality, possibly that's what we're missing. We could have scored, and they're certainly missing that tonight because they could have scored easily.
Amoroso a little bit too much working the ball again. Ferguson comes away with it. That's good play. Now Barry Ferguson, a little bit of pace on it. Newman should get this and does. There's McCann, played a little bit wide. Quick ball played over to Kanchelskis. Can't get away though. Kept an eye on the ball well, and that's given to Aberdeen, that throw in. That's a bad ball. Johansson picks it up. Johansson going in. Lovely ball by Johansson. Well, he scored a goal against Aberdeen in the league. Very reminiscent to that kind of position, Alan.
Yeah, he's done really well there. Direct play in between the legs of Derek White, driving in. The ball's just too far away for him. The defender getting back in. Oh, take that right on top of his foot as well with the studs. He'll feel that one. He does really well here. Onto a loose ball, in between the legs of White. The ball just too far away. Russell Anderson coming across, showing him studs there, Russell Anderson as well. He definitely catches that right on top of the foot.
Looking very anxiously on there. He has enough injury problems without this one. Kept on top of him.
And the simple matter of a fact is he can't really go off because with only Stephen Carson on the bench.
Well, I think they may be thinking of taking him off though. He doesn't look as if he can carry on, you know.
Certainly the pace he's running in there, and also Russell Anderson running directly back towards him. The momentum when they clash together.
That is a nice turn.
Just a little too far away, and you can see here he's bombing in. Russell Anderson's coming back to try and get a block. And you can see here, right leg right into the top of the foot. You can forget about him coming back on.
I think he's lucky to get away with that, in actual fact.
Absolutely. I honestly don't think you'll see Jonathan Johansson coming back on. But Carson will come on though.
Stephen Carson getting ready to come on, another of the Rangers youngsters. Taken easily by Ferguson. Kanchelskis. Ventila. Oh, he did that very well off of Newman. McCann. And this Kanchelskis coming in. Once again, McAllister, as he's done so often in this game, tracking right in front of the Russian.
It's a great
very
cross.
good ball.
It's a great cross to the back post. Both of them miss it actually. Unbelievable. Johansson will come off then.
And Carson is on. Issuing instructions. I think he'll go to the left with McCann left up front. Good run by Winters. Brought down, free kick. There he is. That's a sad sight for Rangers. That might be a serious injury. Well, it is a serious injury, but just how long is going to be now for him. And Rangers are running out of options up front.
It's the last thing the Advocaat needs actually.
Ferguson keeping his eye on the ball. Throw to Aberdeen. taken by Meyer. That's a good ball now. Van Bronckhorst running unnecessarily into trouble though. Oh, Ferguson delayed his pass too long there. Well, that's a free kick, yes. Getting quite hard in now. White's been booked already. There's the challenge here. Ferguson. Going across, there's a good effort there. Bernard turned away from it, and that's just kept in. A lot of hesitation, and Amoruso whips it away. White, I think that will go out of play. Now Carson just kept it in. Nice play by Belabed. Aberdeen getting more of the ball now though, picking up the spirits. Belabed inside. Oh, that should have been left to the outside and going now. And it's a great save, and it's in. They've scored. Duncan forward there. Aberdeen score. He couldn't keep it in, and Dowd gets a final touch, and Pittodrie erupts.
You just couldn't write this, couldn't you not? I mean, they haven't even been in the game. All of a sudden, the start of the second half, they get a little break here. When the ball goes out to Winters, he does really well here, checks back, gets enough on it to get it back. A good save initially, and Andy Dowd trapping the back post, pokes it into the top. Unbelievable.
Well, he took it very well though. The goalkeeper made as good a job of it as he possibly could. And there, I think, the yellow card again. Bernardin's the save there. And Dow flicking it into the roof of the net. Dow the scorer. Ferguson. Aberdeen getting everybody behind the ball now, right? Here's Van Bronckhorst. Little touch through to Amoruso. A very poor ending, as the legs seemed to be tired there. Through it went, stumbling over the ball, and a despairing effort eventually. And I make it 2 minutes to the end. So the cup holders on the edge of their precipice. Bernard was booked. He goes to Meyer. Amoruso has pushed himself forward again. Throw to Rangers. Well, he's worked very hard and he's had a dismal time of it if he's gone out. And the Rangers captain is up there aiding the attack. As Pentila takes it. High ball, that should be easily dealt with by the Aberdeen defence. And Amoruso going right in towards the goalkeeper. Aberdeen supporters haven't had an experience like this, curiously enough. Their only 2 wins have been at home, have been in the CIS Cup. There's Pentilla. Just put away. Carson. Newman up to Ferguson. Amoruso. Ball not running for Rangers that time. Kanchelskis was screaming for it. Here's Wilson. He'll try the long high one. Amoruso tries to go up for it. Just put out of play. And Aberdeen will be quite content to put the ball anywhere. 1 minute of stoppage time. Tempting ball into the middle again. There's Ferguson. Now Wilson. Played out now to Pentila. Here's Ferguson. Coming towards the end. Here's McCann. That's a free kick to Rangers. I think some of the supporters thought the game was finished. Rangers trying to get on with it. And now Ferguson, Barry Ferguson, will take the free kick, and I think everybody will go into the box. Perhaps Rangers' last chance of this, or else they relinquish their cup if it doesn't come off. Up it goes, and Leighton gets it easily. And the referee considers that he was fouled there. And Rangers may be heading for their second consecutive defeat. As he grabbed at it, got it away, taking his time about this. A stern gentleman at this stage. And there it goes, Aberdeen have knocked the holders out. The Pittodrie faithful, those who decided to turn up and support the team, many didn't, overjoyed at this outcome. Rangers, who had so much of the game, with so many chances, and it seems it's going to be the story of their current form. So there we are. Alan, your final word on it.
Well, it wasn't a particularly great game, was it? Really, Rangers' inability to kill off Aberdeen has cost them dear. A very, very scrappy extra time. They weren't in it. They get one single chance, managed to put it away, and they've done what I didn't think they would do, and is beat Rangers. Congratulations to Aberdeen.
There we are. That's it, Jim. The final score: Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0.
Yeah, it might not have been the greatest game, but boy, was it dramatic in extra time. We're going to be back to talk about it in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us.